sometimes I'm really fascinated by data. Now, a statistician I am not, but this information I started gathering was very illuminating. Hey there, it's Grace. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're a newbie sub. Thank you for clicking on your first Grace video. Now, don't forget to hit subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button and the like button too while you're at it. Okay, enough housekeeping. Now, one of the things that always intrigued me, that really tickled my curiosity since my teens, if I'm not mistaken, are habits. The things we do on repeat, including those things that are not really good for us, but also the things we generally gravitate towards because they bring us pleasure. And it's one of the reasons I chose to coach clients, to coach women in business. I wanted to help them get to the underlying reasons why they did what they did that held them back in their business. Now, even though I'm no longer coaching clients, habits still intrigue me. So it makes sense then that I wanted to gather the data for my highest use of fountain pen and inks in 2023. Now, wanting to know and being able to record this information, that's what started me thinking about the pip sheets, because I wanted to see which pens and inks I use most regularly and the inks I put in them. And I wanted to kind of catalog this data. I've talked about these pip sheets before. They are part of my Pen and Ink Pairings. Get it? Pips. If you'd like to get more about them and when they'll be available, head to my Ko-fi page and follow me there. By the way, today is not an overhead day. Nope. It's an on-screen look at my pips, my top pips for the year 2023. All right, let's head over there, shall we? Well, have I got something to show you? Let's look at this. So I went looking for my currently inked, and the first page that I started doing, tracking my pens, was, oh my word, December 30th. I completely forgot that I started doing it then. Oh my word. And then, look, February, and then I started getting fancy. I started getting fancy with my words and my letters and making it nice. That's blowing my mind that I started doing this. And then April, this is when I really started getting into it, and making decisions based on real pen and ink pairings, not just putting ink in a pen, but basing it on the ink and the pen and what would be a good combination. And here is the first part. This is when I use the AB rating system and was not very happy with it. I just did not like how constrained I felt. And in June, I decided to use a number system. I wanted to be able to, oh, I forgot this one. I wanted to be able to give more breadth to my comparisons. So, there you go. That's the 8. I have no clue why there's no number there. And so it started in June. What I now focus on, I write a little bit, and even this has changed this year. I don't do all this writing this year. This is my currently inked for 2024, and I didn't even do any writing. The writing is on my pip sheet, which there's a video coming out about that soon enough. Okay, so this is the pen evaluation. So there's June, there's July. The July one is the one that really cracks me up. That's that 9.9995 because I absolutely loved. This is the shimmer. ink. I love this Organic Studios Frog Green Shimmer. I have two Organic Studios inks, and both of them are shimmer. The other one is nitrogen, which everybody loves anyway. And as I said, both of them are shimmer, and I love both of them so much. But I have to find the right pen to put in it. This one, Frog Green Shimmer, was in my TWSBI Diamond 580. That worked. And even though it was a fine nib, it worked so beautifully in there. And here, oh, someone got a 2. Oh, oh my. It was most likely the yellow color, because I love this Monteverde Ritma nib. I got 2 from August. All of this information you'll find in the upcoming spreadsheet I'm going to show you. And then September, oh my God, look at that. Stick to the plan, Grace, stick to the plan. And we have 110 in that month. Okay, and then October. October was my Jinhao experiment. All the pens were Jinhao. And then November. And then last one is December for 2023. So all of this information is now in my spreadsheet. And I love using this rating system so much more. Yes. Is that how you say it? That's English, right? Yes. I love using this rating system so much more. This, that's so funny. That's so funny. Oh, Pannonia. Oh, Pannonia. You become a love of mine. Anyway, all of this was filled in on that spreadsheet. Let's go to the spreadsheet so I can show you what all of these pages was about for 2023. Okay, so these are my top pips, pen and ink pairings for 2023. This list is short. I only started recording ratings in May. Now granted, also, the pens, my pen collection was mightily small, and it's grown since then. And so that has changed the trajectory of what pens, what inks, what pens I use actually. As you can see right here, I only took ratings of pens that were 9 or 10, points 9 or 10, because that's the highest writing experience rating I could give it. So I included only those that are 9 or 10. I also had, because I wanted to know basically all the data for the pen and ink pairings that I was using, I included the pen and the pen style in each of them, because you can see these are 2 TWSBIs, and both TWSBIs are different, so I wanted to include the style. I also included the different nib sizes here, and love that I included that. I don't have specialty nibs here because I didn't have any in 2023, but I know that probably for 2024 I'll be adding them. I also included the ink brand, of course, duh, it's Pen and Ink Pairings, but the ink brand and the ink name, plus I definitely wanted to include the ink, went too far, the ink properties and the ink color, because I wanted to see, was I gravitating towards a particular color more or a particular property? Hello, shimmer. And so I'll take a look at that as well. But as I went through this and I populated the spreadsheet, things got pretty interesting when I went to extrapolate results. So fascinating to me. The spreadsheet gave me a better idea of my usage of, obviously, over time, but also what I was attracted to using, the pens I was attracted to using, and the inks I wanted to put in them. So this is really a fascinating look back at my pen journey, my year-long pen journey so far. And I would hazard to say that this also informed my subsequent purchases of pens and inks, because I was growing. I was getting a more of a flavor of what I enjoyed, what I was not attracted to, and my likes and dislikes. And so, yeah, it really gave me a flavor of where I've been and what it was about the whole time. Okay, I want to tell you about one thing rather, but it's two things in this one thing. This right here, this was, when I started the pen ratings, I started with letter grades. So I went A, B, C. I don't think I went any further down than that. C was kind of the lowest letter I would give it. But what I found is I did not enjoy, I found I did not have enough information using only letter grades, 3 letter grades. It wasn't enough. But when I started using numbers, like these two, and this one is, I'll tell you about that in a minute too. When I started using numbers on a scale of from 1 to 10, I could get a more broad look at the pen and ink pairings. And I know at a glance, obviously, when I give something a 10 or a 9, or even when I give something a 2, I know at a glance that pairing did not work well. And it's either tweak the nib in the pen, or tweak the ink that I put in the pen. One of those two needs to change. But for the most part, I had very good experiences. So let's get to as you can see that already anyway. TWSBI was kind of like the highlight of, there's this one, and this one, and this one. No, that's not anything. This one and this one. So TWSBI was the most used pen. I do have 5 of them now, 4 of them now. I think it's 4 or 5 of them now. So it was the most used brand of pen in the last year. I did also want to include, from that information, I realized I wanted to include price points. So I went back in and added this column here, price points. And this is a fascinating thing. I included price points just to see where I am in, do I prefer more inexpensive, more middle of the road, or do I have an expensive pen budget ahead of me? And that, when I show you this highest used sheet, you'll see about that one in a minute. The price point, as you see here, these two, or I should say just all of these here, my price point for pens increase towards the latter part of the year. And I think that was kind of a twofold reason for that. Obviously, more knowledge about pens and the pens that I prefer and the pens that I could afford, but also the pens that were available to me, so that what I could afford, but also my taste changed, evolved, improved, it grew, take your pick, any one of those, over time, so that I opened up the avenue of pens available to me that I possibly could want, and that included price points that were over 150 or over 300. Just is what it is. Another data point I included that wasn't necessarily about high scores was the inks I used, and I know I had repeats in the inks I use. I know I had repeats. Obviously diamine is one of them because I love a diamine ink. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to add in brand name, color, and properties. Let's get to the sheet. Let's get to the highest use sheet. This is the second spreadsheet. And as you can see, TWSBI kind of ruled the game in the pens that came in at 10, 9, or 10, including these two. That was A. A is a high point, so we're going with that. TWSBI came in at, I think 7. And then the most inks I use, the ink brand I use that scored 9 or 10, no surprise there, Diamine. I love their inks. I can predict that I will probably have many more Diamine inks than any other inks. That could also be because the Diamine ink vent gives you 25 new inks all at once. So this year, or this for 2023, I got 25 new inks, Diamine inks. So Diamine is going to probably always rule. Not holding myself to that one. Just a reminder, I'm going to, speaking of inks, I'm going to swatch these inks. These are the top inks, the top 10. It's so interesting how I position this bit of information. Diamine was used the most of all the ink brands of all these numbers here. Diamine ink was used the most, but I wanted to see what were my top ink brands, and those were the ones that scored a 10, the pairings that scored a 10, and that's these in the yellow. These are the ones that scored 10. And I am kind of okay with that. When I look at this, I like every ink that is highlighted that got a 10. I love every ink on this list. As for price point, in terms of was there a price point that I gravitated towards that gave it a 10 rating? And as you can see, not really. 50 to 100, 25 to 50, 150 to 300. There's not really one that stood out necessarily in terms of price point for pens. Okay, let's get to the pen and ink pairing results then. I'm sorry, I have a little tickle in my throat right now. Usually happens this time of year. So the top pen brand by usage, as I said, was TWSBI. Of the points given to pens, TWSBI got 7. TWSBI got 7 out of all of the inks, all of the pens, a 10. I am just, that is the thing that surprised me, because towards the latter part of the year, I wasn't always using a TWSBI, but overall, I'm a TWSBI girl. I keep saying that. I'm just a TWSBI girl, and this spreadsheet shows it. Most used ink brand, as I said before, was Diamine. 5 times it had a 10 rating, which is kind of freaking cool. I love that. The pens that scored the highest, so only 10s, was TWSBI, yeah, but also Visconti, Leonardo, and Monteverde, which is, TWSBI is in the $50 range, 50-ish, I should say, dollar range, depending upon which pen you get. And Visconti, Leonardo are not. That's all I'm going to say about that. The Monteverde is one of the pens that I love, and I got that in December, and that made the cut. Where is Monteverde? Monteverde got a, where is it? That was the Ritma. Oh, Monteverde, I thought Monteverde made more. Anyway, the highest scoring inks, as I said before, are the Atramentus Brilliant Violet Copper, Pilot Iroshizuku Yuyaki, Diamine Ancient Copper, Jacques Robin Violetta Pensée, and Pilot Iroshizuku. Did I do that wrong? I think I wrote that wrong on each one. Anyway, Konpeki. Who doesn't love Konpeki? Why would you not give Konpeki a 10, right? Ink colors, I'm going to go here before I go down here. Ink colors, though, I was blown away that blue was the most used brand color for all the ink pairings. 4 times. 4 times. Anyway, and then purple. Now, if you've watched any of my recent videos, you'll know that I am not a purple person. I leave that all up to my daughter. She is purple everything. She gets braids in her hair and she gets purple braids. All of the purple is hers. On the other hand, give me some purple ink and I can be happy. Purple got 3. I used purple 3 times and it got a high score. I'm just so pleased with that. And then green got 3, and then brown got 2, and both times it was the pen that actually carried over from one month to the other, so that's why it rated. It was a consistent writer, and it wrote beautifully, so it got a high score again, and that was Diamine Ancient Copper. And the properties, I'm surprised at this one. I expected my shimmer results to be higher, but it wasn't. And I think that's because I need to figure out which pens goes best with shimmer, which of my pens works best with shimmer to give me a really brilliant, beautiful writing experience. So this number, I'm hoping to increase that because I love a shimmer. I know. Who doesn't love a shimmer? If you don't love a shimmer, we can still be friends, but shimmer, come on. And then sheening, there was only one ink that had a sheening. And as I said before, there was no clear winner for the price point. No, there wasn't any particular price range that came in on the top. This actually surprised me because over the course of my time with fountain pens, I now realize that I prefer a fine nib, and the majority of pens that got a high rating, majority of them had a nib that was medium. I don't know if I need to rethink my thoughts on medium and fine, and do I need to go more for a medium? But that was surprising. One broad nib got a high score, and one stub nib, I only have one stub nib, that's the Ritma, the Monteverde Ritma, that got a high score. So actually, yeah, that is the pairing results for 2023. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly ink up, swatch up these 5 inks here. I'm going to swatch these up because I would actually want to keep a record of them and have them in my notebook. So let me prepare that and I'll be right back. All right, here we go. First one up, before I open it, I want to show you. This one is Jehabin Violet Pensée. One of my favorite, all-time favorite purples ever. I don't know, you might see me do this all the time. I hate not using both ends of the Q-tip, but I need something to hold, so I just bend it in half. Such a rich, beautiful purple. Alrighty, let's see. And I'm using my Rohr and Klinger glass dip nib pen. First one done. The next one in that list is, come on, you need to go, I need to get on. Next one in that list is one that is a favorite of almost everybody. The Pilot Iroshizuku Konbeki. I use this a lot. I don't even remember when I got this bottle. I don't even remember. I just knew that I needed to have it, and so I got it. Alrighty. This is love those two colors together. Next up is, this is one that I actually got from an online friend, Sarah of Ginger Peachy Pens, and it's one of my all-time favorite shimmer. It is just, oops. You can tell it hasn't been open in a little while. Split that in half, and I hope that shimmer shows up here. Oh yeah, it's in there. Wow, this is Organic Studios. So beautiful. I love the gold shimmer that shows up in this color, and it does not take long to show up either. I need to use this in a pen coming up. Lord, you are crusty. Lord. And one of my favorites is, I forgot to show you that one. This one is Ancient Copper, Diamine. Nice. I love this color. I absolutely love this. When I did my Inky Ease Brown, this definitely was a favorite. Look at that. Oh my goodness. So beautiful. Oh, why am I closing the darn thing? One more time. Alrighty. And I'm going to have to leave it there. And the only reason is twofold. When I went to search, I knew I have samples of the last two. And the last two are Diatramentis Brilliant Violet Copper and Pilot Iroshizuku Yuyaki. The reason I cannot do any more swatches is because this is, you see that drop down there? I don't even know if it's a drop that I can use. I think it's solidified right now. This is in a cart somewhere and it just did not get here in time. And then I have another sample. I don't even know where the sample vial is. This is the other color, Pilot Iroshizuku Yuyake. That's gonna go here, but I need to wait until they come in. So I will fill this in, and there you have it. My top Psst ink for 2023. They're really pretty colors actually, and they go with my, you most likely will not see a light color in my top Psst because I just don't gravitate to light colors. Alrighty, that's it. Let's get final thoughts on these top Psst and call it a day. Alrighty, now for some final thoughts. I'm really excited to see the results for 2023 of all my pen and ink pairings. And I actually want to see how this information changes in the new year. I'll have a whole year's worth of data to collect, and I'm excited about data because I'm a nerdy girl, quirky but nerdy too. And I especially want to see if this road changes at all. If price point, the range of price for a pen one range comes out on top in 2024. I'm really fascinated to see that one. One of the only reasons, that's just like ridiculous. One of the reasons is, remember I did a October Jinhao experiment when I only used Jinhao pens. I now have 9 Jinhao pens. I am now experimenting with other brands that are inexpensive, like I recently did a Hung Dian, I don't know which one to say. Although I did do a pronunciation on Google, and Google said it's Hung Dian, and I'm like, I'm gonna go with Google, Hung Diane Pen. There's a video on that. That's a Chinese brand. So I am fascinated. And then there's a new one that I just saw, Wing Sung, I think it is. I'm all down that rabbit hole too. But I'm interested to see if this column changes at all, or I don't have a preference for higher priced, lower priced, in the middle type of thing. I'm fascinated. I really want to see how, if that changes at all, and how it will play out. The only thing I have not included on this, and I thought about it just now as I was looking at the screen, is I don't have the pen or ink country. The brand, where is the brand from? Like Leonardo is from Italy, and what else? Pilot is Japanese. I don't have that included in this chart, and I think for 2024 I will include that because it'd be fascinating to see what I gravitate towards, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Anyway, if I don't know if this has helped you, I don't know if you're interested in this, and if you are, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments what you think of this piece of data I put together, and if you've gathered your own set of data for 2023, let me know. What did you find out? What was your top pen usage, pen and ink pairing for 2023? And if this interests you, if this Google Sheet interests you, I have created a blank one that I share with you. It is doesn't cost you anything. I'll just share it with you. The only thing is, because I don't want anybody to put their addresses in the comment section, their email addresses in the comment section, I'd have you go over to my Ko-fi page and send me a message there asking me sending me a message there with your email asking me to send you this sheet. And I have, this is the sheet here. So I've created the whole sheet. It's all blank. It has all the months in it, all of the information. There's even an example of what to put in each one. Yeah. And if this interests you, let me know and I'll send it out right to you. But also, tell me what you think of this. What do you think of what I've created? The information that I compiled. I'd love to know your thoughts. I'd love to know your thoughts. Anyway, that's it for now. Take care till I talk to you next time. Goodbye.